going on up that way, sir?
Yeah, very good afternoon, Jim. Well, it's not too bad here today. It's about, I don't know, 15 or 16 Celsius, so it's not too bad. I got my TS850 back from the repair shop, and it's all been refreshed, recapped a couple of boards, and put a new board in the ALC circuit, and I did a few other adjustments, so just wondering how it sounds down your way today. KC9VKV V3 PCP.
Roger, sounds maybe just a little too fat. You might want to check your compressor. We only want to use about a 3 on that compressor processor. Otherwise it gets real, it's trying to suck up too much. A 3 will do nicely there, Roger.
Yeah, QSL, I'm actually at setting at 2, so it may be a little bit fat yet. I'm not quite sure. I am running the amplifier this afternoon, so I'm hitting it fairly hard. Let me back the processor down just a little bit there, and see if that makes a difference.
Roger, let's do it the other way. I think what's happening is you were hot into your ALC. Double check your ALC level. I'm looking for mid-scale to 2/3, Roger.
Yeah, QSL, okay, I turned the mic gain down a little bit there. I'd like to try it with and without the processor as well, so that's with the processor on at 2, and I did turn the mic gain down a little bit, so that maybe backed it off a little bit. QSL.
Yeah, I think what it was, you were hot into your ALC, and a lot of times ALC will just sound like a hot compressor because it's limiting. When your ALC meter is showing the output of your limiter, and so what you want to do is be sure and keep that ALC mid-scale to 2/3. The compressor processor is just a token amount there at a 3, and just works beautifully between the compressor at a 3 and the ALC mid-scale to 2/3. Then you will be at 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% peak modulation. If you go hotter than that, fatter than that, your words start to blur.
Yeah, QSL, very good. Yeah, I'm actually not seeing much deflection on the ALC meter at all. This particular rig, when you run the processor, it doesn't really give you a true reading on the ALC meter for whatever reason, but I can tell by the activity on the power meter where it's at. But so this is with the processor on. I'm going to shut the processor off. I'm going to give you a count first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Processor on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Processor off. QSL.
Wow, man, that processor is crazy. And you said that was at a 3 or 2, or it sounds like it's about at an 8. It really is a heavy hand there. I think I would leave the processor off for right now, Roger.
Okay, very good. The processor is off, and I'm seeing that I got a fair bit of ALC activity when the processor's off, so I'll back that down a little bit again. And I know that using remote hams here, it seems to process the audio quite a bit as well, so maybe I don't need to have the processor on the radio on as well, QSL.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's, you're going through more electronics than most people dream about. So, and each stage of that process it has an effect on the dynamic range. So I think you're right. When you're running in that configuration, I would leave the processor off. And I wanted to also let you know that your audio is very mid-rangey, upper mids, not much bass at all. As long as you know that, Roger.
Okay, QSL, like I said, I do have an equalizer on the Windows 10 machine here, and I'll just open it up here. And right now I'm showing I've got my bass all the way up to 15, and the goes down on a sliding scale to 250 cycles. It's down at about a 5, and then the top end at 2K goes up to about 13. So I don't know how much more I can put in the bottom end. I can maybe I'll move the 124 up a little bit. There, the 124 is up a little bit. And there's the 62 hertz up a little bit, and I'll turn the 250 up a little bit more and see if that makes a difference. How's that sound? V3 PCP.
Yes, sir. You're getting a lot better bottom end now, and you will start sounding louder. Even though you know, a lot of folks think if you just do those upper mids, you know, you're going to be loudest. That is always true. Yeah, a good frequency response range sometimes sounds loudest, but you know, that what you were doing there as far as the lower end really, in my ears, really helped a great deal, Roger.
Okay, QSL, yeah, I tweaked them there a little bit more, and hopefully that'll work all right. But you know, as you said, there's a lot of devices in the audio chain here. Excuse me. I've got the computer, of course, and RC Forbes remote hams software is going through, and you know, I have the equalizer in line that you know, shapes the audio both on transmit and receive. And you know, I guess it all tends to make a difference for sure. And I'm recording this session right now too, and I'll post it to my YouTube channel later on, so you can hear what you sound like over the air, QSL.
Oh, I appreciate that. Now, just out of curiosity, what radio are you running?
I'm running a Kenwood TS850. It's an older Kenwood rig, but one of the better older rigs. And like I say, I just got it back. I had it away at a electronic repair shop that does amateur radios, and he recapped the DDS and carrier boards, and replaced a DC to DC board in the ALC circuit, because that's a known issue with these rigs, and did a few other little tweaks, and bumped the power output up to 125 watts from 100, but I've got it turned down right now because I'm feeding the amplifier. So so yeah, it's back to working just like new again, QSO.
Roger. Now, you're going through a relay situation now, Roger?
Okay, I have a server on the PC that runs the rig. It's an RC Forbes server, so it's remote ham server. And then I'm using the RC Forbes client on the same PC to access the server. So it's kind of going out through the internet and back in through the server and into the rig. And then I have audio connections from the PC directly into the rig with DC blocking capacitors and you know, attenuating resistors and that sort of thing, QSL.
Roger. Just out of curiosity, what, if you know, what value your blocking capacitors are?
The blocking capacitors are 2.2 microfarad, I believe.
You might be better off with a heavier capacitor. Would allow a better low frequency response, like maybe an 8, 7, 5, something a little heavier. Those tend to roll off low frequencies pretty much, Roger.
Yeah, QSL, yeah, very much like a crossover for a tweeter. Yep, understood. Originally I made these cables up for running digital mode, so wasn't too concerned about the you know, the roll-off frequencies and so forth of the audio. So you're right, but I probably could bump those up to a little bit bigger. I'll have to order some more capacitors and make that change, QSL.
Roger. Now, you know, don't get me wrong. If you're just communicating in emergency situation, get the word down, the world's blowing up, you'll find exactly where you are because your words cut and are easy to understand. On the other hand, if you might want to try to mellow it out just a little bit, I would think about increasing the value of those blocking capacitors.
Yeah, okay, very good. I just bumped the mid-range up a little bit more again. I don't know whether you noticed any difference or not this time around. It's very, very subtle. I mean, I can hear the difference a bit on receive when I change it, but you know, of course, that's the frequency response may be a little bit different on transmit as well, QSL.
Roger. Now, if I were going to EQ that for pleasantness to the ear, I would start at 1K minus 6 or 7, 2 down minus 5, and I would just look at that thing as a reverse smile on the EQ pattern, like on a 10-band EQ, just a reverse, well, an actual smile, with 1K being the bottom part of the smile, and, you know, up from either side of that, Roger, like a notch filter.
Okay, QSL, yeah, I dropped the, and you'll see on the recording when I send you the link to it, because I'm using OBS software to record it, so you'll see what's on the screen. But so I dropped down the EQ for the 1K and 2K. I dropped them down, so it kind of goes. It's highest at the bottom end, 31 hertz, and then it kind of goes down on a downhill slope towards 2K, QSL.
Roger, Roger. Now, I've got a new board up on the right-hand side. It's an audio input board, and above that is a antenna input board display, 6 lights on each display. And you'll notice that when I go to the Virginia SDR, that frequency response from that SDR is very good, down to like 100 cycles. So you'll notice a EQ difference when I'm running the Virginia SDR versus the other SDRs. The other SDRs are kind of rolling out there about 250 cycles. Roger?
Yeah. Okay. Very good. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing it on the on YouTube once you get it uploaded, and see what it looks like. And we hopefully can keep going. But I'm glad that you mentioned the blocking capacitors. I never really thought too much about that, and I should maybe get some 5 or some 7.5 microfarad tantalums and swap them out. I have them right. They're right in the cord. They're very small tantalum capacitors, so they're kind of right in the cord inside of some heat shrink on the cord, as well as the attenuating resistors. I have a 2.2K in series, and then a 2.2K in parallel on the mic input, just to kind of balance out the impedance a little bit. But you know, so far they work pretty well. But again, it's you know, it's a work in process, and that's what the hobby's all about, QSL.
Roger, Roger. Now those are non-polarized capacitors, Roger?
Yeah, QSL, yeah, they're non-polarized tantalum capacitor.
Roger. Well, I would think about paralleling those. Paralleling the ones that are there with the other ones, and see what that does. Just parallel the ones that are there, Roger?
Yeah, QSL, yeah, I think I've got a few more here. I can put a couple in parallel and increase the capacitance a bit, see if it makes a difference, and we'll go from there. Anyway, Jim, we've tied up, I think, enough of your time this afternoon. I really appreciate the time spent, and we'll look forward to listening to the recording once you get it posted up. So 7-3 for this afternoon, and have a great weekend. KC9VKV, V3 PCP. Roger,
73 that way, sir, and I love those little jumper cables. You know, they're like a foot long with alligator clips on either side. You can just do so much stuff really quickly, just you know, tapping them in and you know, clipping them in and with the components on the other end. Just do it real quick for checks. All right, 73 up that way in the cold country. Stay warm. We'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO vlog net. My name is Jim, Juliet India Mike. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.